the Niners have traded away Quan, and they now have Fred Warner, Azeez Al-Shaair, and Dre Greenlaw at linebacker. What do you think of the way the Niners have gone about assembling their linebackers? What do you think of those linebackers?
Man, dude, I said on my podcast, bro, you have to extend Fred Warner. He's coming up due, and people are saying, well, he's signed through next year. Well, technically, it's a 2018 third-round draft pick. Usually GMs like to extend the player before he hits that fourth year or last year of his rookie deal, because otherwise you're fighting for his services at the end of the year. If you look at the 2018 draft class, the inside linebacker position is stacked. You have Tremaine Edmonds from the Buffalo Bills, you have Roquan Smith from the Chicago Bears, and then you also have Rashaan Evans from the Tennessee Titans. All three of those guys are going to help reset the market. And that's this offseason. Now, you also have to take into account who we just saw, the Tampa Bay Bucks, Levante David, who's balling out of control. He signed back in 2015, I believe it was a 5-year, $50 million deal. If you break it down annually, that's $10 million a year. Back in 2015, Jim Tomsula was the coach of the San Francisco 49ers. He's due for a big payday at the end of the year, so he's going to help reset the market. If you don't re-sign Fred Warner now, the market's value is only going to go up, and they're going to outprice themselves and play themselves out of Fred Warner, because he's due for a front-loaded contract. He's not going to ask for a back-loaded contract like Eric Armstead or settle for anything less, because he's the best middle linebacker in the NFL, better than Bobby Wagner, hands down the best.
And I believe the reason the Niners kept Armstead instead of Buckner is not just that Armstead was cheaper. Armstead has a backloaded deal. Armstead is cheaper now. His cap number this year is 6.5. Buckner's is like 20-something.
Yeah.
Buckner's comes down.
Right.
Armstead's goes up. So Buckner, they can move on from Buckner after, I think, next year if they want to. They won't want to. But Armstead, no, he was cheaper now. He got a backloaded deal. That's the kind of thing that tier 2 free agents accept because they're one-year wonders.
The Niners were smart in banking on this possibility happening where Armstead reverts back to his first 4 years rather than the 5th-year contract of consistent play. So it was a smart play by Parag Marathe and the 49ers front office for making sure that they coverage their bases and the risk versus reward, is in their favor. They're very smart at doing that.
Real quick, Sean says Ray McDonald was a number 1 pick. He was the 97th pick in the draft. He was a 3rd-round pick in 2007. That is the perfect place to draft a run stuffer. I mean, Ray McDonald was a terrific player for a 3rd-round pick. He was never a pass rusher. If they had spent the 14th pick on Ray McDonald, Niner fans would have hated him. But he was a 3rd-round pick. He was a terrific 3rd-round pick, and you can get guys there. Sorry, he spent $2 to say that, and I was like, well, maybe. They definitely have to sign Fred Warner. He's going to be really expensive, and he's going to be a DeForest Buckner type contract in the sense that it'll be front loaded. It won't be $21 million a year, but it'll probably be more than how could you, if you were Fred Warner's agent, accept anything less than what Eric Armstead got? How?
You can't. Like, if you're Fred Warner and you're in his corner and you're in his camp, you're looking at it from a football standpoint and what have you done for me lately? He is vastly underpaid. I don't care if it's a rookie deal or not. He's been outplaying that rookie deal since last year. He gets paid less than $1 million per year. Bobby Wagner gets paid $18 million annually. If you do the math, that means Fred Warner's being underpaid for the last 2 years by $17 million. That's $34 million in the bank that he's overdue already. So you're not going to think, if I'm his agent, I'd be like, you know what? I don't care. I'm not taking a hometown discount for my boy Fred Warner because he's the best in the NFL. The analytics back it up.
You say Bobby Wagner's making 18?
Yes, annually. APY, annual per year. Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
You guys don't understand how much money Fred Warner's going to get. He's going to get more than George Kittle got.
Yes.
He's going to get more than Eric Armstead got. He's going to be the second highest paid player. Actually, if they get rid of Jimmy G, we're going to get to Jimmy G later. He might be the highest paid player on this team next year.
Fred Warner, to me, is the heart and soul of defense. Nick Bosa is the best defensive player on that team, but the heart and soul is Fred Warner. You take out Fred Warner, you take out the heart.
He's more than the heart and soul. He is the heart and soul, for sure.
Exactly.
He's also the brains of the defense.
There you go.
He's the quarterback of the defense. He is Robert Saleh on the field. And they always say, like, what makes Fred Warner so good isn't just his coverage, because it's elite. It isn't just the fact that he picks people off. It's how smart he is pre-play and how he can always make the right adjustments and get everyone lined up, even when the offense is doing all those shifts and motions.
Great point, Grant. You hit it on the nail. That is exactly it. You hit it right on the nail. Agreed, 100%.
And, this year when the Niners, they still have a leadership crisis. Sherman's gone. Staley's gone. Sanders is gone. All the good players in their 30s are gone. And so all of a sudden the Niners are like, well, we don't have any leaders on this team. Who's going to step up and do it? And it's not Kittle. I like Kittle. It's not his personality. He's a jokester. It's not Armstead. It's not Trent Williams.
Yeah.
It's not Mike McGlinchey. He's not good enough. It's one guy. It's Fred Warner.
It's Fred Warner.
He's 23. Yes. He's 23, Brian.
Yes. And he comes from a good upbringing too. Like, what people don't talk about that. So how you're raised is really, we see it in the locker room now, how people are raised and outside and then out in the field, and then also how they interact with people. We see it. And Fred Warner's always been on that professional standard, and he always had a high standard that way. So kudos to Fred Warner for senior for raising a smart young man.